Welcome to my channel. I am Lovespell, a queen with a pen. And on this channel, I upload a podcast bi-weekly that speaks into subjects like self-love, toxic behaviors, and shadow work. In the meantime, in between time, I'll be uploading videos that go into things like manifestation, changing your vibration, and how to vibe high and stay there. If this seems like something that you're interested in, make sure that you hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, and ring that bell. We about to stir up this pot. Y'all ready or not? When it comes to goal setting, accomplishing, and things like that, one of the main things that you have to work on is change. Often we do not know that we need to make changes, or we ignore the fact that we need to make changes. We don't know what we need to make, what changes we need to make, or when do we need to make those changes? What should we change them to? Or have the willingness and the fortitude in order to put in the work to make sure those changes happen. The thing is that currently we walk the path of failure, and in hopes that one day the opportunity of success will just fall into our laps. And that is not the way the universe works. In order for you to be on your path to victory and success, to financial abundance, to, fame, fortune, whatever it is that you seek, you must first take the footsteps on the path. Footsteps. And each footstep that you put onto your path is a step into change. So you have to learn how to get out of your own way. Let's talk about it. So what's the path you've been walking on? This path of failure I'm talking about. And if you're triggered, then be triggered, because we've all walked this path of failure. The path of failure is when you continue to have the same habits, mindset, people, places, and things that have brought you the exact same results. Now, we all know the saying that, doing the same thing, expecting different results is called insanity. And so if you're continuously on a daily basis being insane, then you're walking the path of failure. Now, here's the thing. Once you've acknowledged that the things that you're doing is not bringing about the type of success in whatever endeavor that you're trying to get into, that is the very first start of making the necessary changes. Now, you have to decide if you're willing to put in the work, if you're willing to have the fortitude, and how far are you willing to go in order to get to the set goal that you want to reach. Well, once you've accomplished the fact that you know that you have some changes to make, the next one is figuring out what changes you need to start. So assess your situation. For me, I know walking the path of failure is not being consistent. I am a queen of procrastination. So although I may have all of these goals and all of these plans, I don't bring them to fruition because I am consistently, I'll do that when I get this, or I'll do that when I get that kind of situation. So if you know that you're one of those people that makes a excuse basically for not doing, you have to eliminate your excuses. So first up, there are no excuses for failure. Not doing is simply not doing, and there's no other reason why you didn't do except that you did not do. You are not a victim of your circumstances. As a matter of fact, you're not a victim at all. Life does not happen to you. You are happening to your life. If you keep that motto and that mantra, you will go far. So that's basically stating that when a circumstance does not go the way you intended it. For example, maybe you have a business, or you're starting a business and you decide to do a pop-up shop or something, and it doesn't do very well or whatever, for whatever reasons. Not a lot of people show up, things like that. Then a victim mentality, or someone who has a victim mentality, will come and say, well, no one supports me. It could be true. that no one supported you on your pop-up. You might have put it out to all your friends. You might have put it out to your family members or whoever, and people just didn't show up for you. That is true. Here's the thing. Now you know that. What's your next step? To give up on your dreams or to seek more people, to seek people who do support you? Because in any endeavor, there's going to be somebody who thinks it's freaking awesome, who thinks it's fucking great. You know what I'm saying? And it might not be your aunt or your cousin Kiki Lolo, but it will be somebody. So the next step is to go back and check your marketing, figure out how can you reach more people in the business that you're, the new endeavor that you're getting into. How do you get more people to come in and be a part of? That is the task. Because once you get that under control, then you've made a little accomplishment within your larger accomplishment. And you know how I talk about goals and little steps to get to big steps. So you are not a victim. All of the things that you do in your life will always be a lesson learned and a way to move forward or to move up. It also gives you an understanding of the people around you. So that's my next step. The people who didn't support you, what do you do with them now that you know that they don't support you? Well, leave them where they be. Because people only see, the only person who's going to see your end game or your idea is you. When it is in its growing phases, nobody cares. Let's just be honest. Nobody cares. When your channel is this small, nobody cares. When your, business is just getting off the ground, nobody cares. Because what you're looking for, that admiration, that I wouldn't say clout because you're going for something that's genuine, but I would say where people admire you and your business is flourishing and that victory and success that you want to feel or whatever, people are only looking to engage in those type of things to bring them immediate gratification. It is something that you've done as well. I'm sure there are plenty of mixtapes that you did not support. I know I have. I'm sure there were plenty. I'm sure there's plenty of business cards that you retrieved that you never called and made good on. So many sites and, whatever. But not to, but don't take it to heart when people don't support you, because the vision that you have is only yours. This is your path. It's not anyone else's path. Nobody was, privy to see what the end result of something is. And they're not going to go with you anyway. So let them be unsupportive on the other side. Don't hold a grudge about it. And just look for the people who are ready to support because they see the benefit in it for them. So now that we're on the topic of people supporting and not supporting, the other thing you need to do is stop giving a fuck about what people think. I promise you that the person who says the most shit is the most unaccomplished person ever. The person who does nothing but criticize your ideas, what you're choosing to make your brand, what colors you pick, like whatever, what shirt you wore. The person who nitpicks the most is the person who is jealous. Let's just put it period point blank. And they might not be like, oh, I want everything about you, but the jealousy comes from you having the willingness and the fortitude to put forth the effort. Because just doing that alone is hard. Stepping out onto a platform and throwing your ideas out there into the public and hoping that someone will receive it in and be like, yes, I love this, is extremely hard. It's putting your ego out there to possibly be crushed. Yes. And a lot of people have no willingness to do that. They are not ready for that. But when they see someone else out there doing it, it's more easy to criticize that person so that they can give themselves an excuse for not doing it themselves. Look at her. She's look, it doesn't even look right. It's cheap. It's tattered. It looks raggedy. You know what I'm saying? Oh, and that's exactly why I ain't started mine, because I don't want to look like this. No, you haven't started yours because you're scared. Because you're scared. And because you worry about what people think. So stop giving a fuck what people think, because if it's not in support of what you're doing, the odds are it comes from a place of jealousy. It comes from a place of, just hatred of some type, or what's that, where you don't feel good in yourself, and so you project that kind of misery loves company, I'm gonna push you down because I feel down kind of thing, or whatever. And then the next thing you need to work on is fear. Self-sabotage is a big way that people tear down what they're trying to build, by being in their head about things, by overthinking, imposter syndroming, just worry. So for example, with, let's say, my podcast, originally I started my podcast with just a cell phone and myself. And I think when the second episode in or something like that, I have where I missed the whole section of editing, and you could just hear me moving papers around and everything. And I kind of still keep my podcast grassroots or whatever. And I have a microphone and all that now and whatever that I purchased, but I kind of still keep my stuff pretty just me, because what I've come to realize is that I'm doing this because I like what I have to say. And that's the main goal, the main thing. The truth of the matter is that you just have to believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Put it out there no matter what. Put it out there when you feel it looks cringe. Put it out there when you look like a nervous wreck. Put it out there. You'll be surprised how many people are supportive of you. Feel the fear and do it anyway. We know that you can self-sabotage, but other people will sabotage you too. Be careful when you take advice. Here's the thing. Constructive criticism is good. Yes. But if you're the type of person who is working on not allowing people to interfere in what you have going on, do not take criticism of any kind from anybody. You will see your own mistakes when you're working on a goal, whatever that goal will be. I mean, you will feel them. And if you're investing something financial into that, you will definitely feel when you've made the mistakes. You won't need anybody else's opinion on the matter. Now, if you're doing something that requires for a certain level of education, a certain level of teaching, a mentor of some kind, then get somebody who's accredited, get somebody who's got some kind of backing, and somebody who is not biased based on their feelings towards you. What I'm talking about is criticism from people that, you considered loved ones, or people that love you, even down to people that you're in a relationship with, in a romantic type of relationship. Sisters, brothers, cousins, it does not matter, but mainly people who are in your circle. Be careful when you take opinions and criticism. I won't say that it's from always a place of hatred or pain or whatever, but I will say that people themselves have been through their own types of trauma. And a lot of times people are taking criticism from unaccomplished people. The question is, why are they unaccomplished? Or why have they not tried in the first place? Because there's something to be learned in failure. Yes, if I had a business that fell down because I made financial mistakes, that is something that could be learned. I can teach someone the mistakes that I made so that that person in opening their business does not make the same mistakes. So yes, you can learn from somebody's failures, most definitely. But you cannot learn from someone who has never tried. From someone who is waiting on success to fall from the sky. Someone who's Chicken Little, Truthfully, just being around people who are unaccomplished or who are not trying can set you back. Most definitely. When you're on a path to success, when you're on a goal, or when you've got something to accomplish, a lot of times people who are chilling, just smoking, just drinking over here, come kick it with us. You could do that tomorrow, ass niggas. Will always drag you back down to that lackluster, let's just have fun in the moment kinds of life when you're trying to, taper down, staple down on something and push yourself into your goals. There's a good chance there will be some friendships that you will have to let go. They might not be permanently, it might be temporary, depending on the friendship, depending on the person. If there's somebody who's strong within themselves and doesn't have a codependency on you or some type of trauma bond, they will get over the fact that you've been distant or MIA for a while, especially when you come out victorious and on top, having some successful thing that they can, clout chase on or whatever. But you have to set boundaries for people, because they will try to encourage you to stop your success and come back and, party with the mediocres. Immediate gratification is a murderer of, successful plans, accomplishment, entrepreneurship. It's a murderer because you can look rich at the club tonight on Instagram or Snapchat, but tomorrow you're back to being broke. When no one's looking and the camera is not flashing, you're still regular, daggler, whoever, wanting and aspiring to be something greater inside. So when are you going to sit down and take the time to actually be the person that you're hoping to be, rather than pretending to be the person that you want to be? Okay, so let's do my recap. You need to be changed. You cannot walk the path of failure and become a success. It's oxymoronic. Don't get into self-sabotage. You are not a victim here. Life does not happen to you. You happen in your life. Don't give a fuck about your non-supporters. They are going to have negative things to say anyway. Don't hold a grudge. Don't give a fuck about what people think. You got to do you no matter what. And people are always going to have something negative, positive, or whatever in between to say. Believe in yourself. You are your best support. And most of all, do not take criticism from Chicken Little. Success is not falling out of the sky. Now, you have successfully gotten out of your own way. And I have stirred up this pot. Bye for now.